Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's the 23rd of November 2025, Sunday afternoon. It seems to be getting darker, more so now than ever. You can tell we're in the midst of winter, tail end of autumn, beginning of winter. So yeah, it's getting darker a lot earlier, so I thought I'd make a video to get another one out for the channel. Obviously I'm busy in the week with other stuff, and I've got another channel as well, so that's why I'm not making a video for this channel like every other day or something, but I do try and make 2 a month, even if they're not back to back. So for this video I want to talk a little bit more about kind of video for video marketing for hotels. Okay, so it's a kind of regardless of the sector, video marketing can be very, very powerful. However, because I've got like an interest in travel and hospitality, as well as some experience in that area, and the marketing background as well, I'm trying to just kind of pivot the channel just slightly towards sort of travel and hospitality marketing and stuff. So look, when everyone you speak to will broadly tell you that it's very powerful as video, more so than static content, such as creating like graphics on Adobe Suite or any other kind of software you might use, like Photoshop or Canva Pro or Adobe Express, and there's loads of others, by the way. I actually made a video about this a number of months ago, and you'll find that video in my channel. I list all the different kind of graphic design software or software as a service. There's tons of options out there, and now even AI can do some stuff, maybe not quite so polished. It's a lot faster, but maybe not quite so polished. So I believe you still do need to have some graphic design skills and not just rely on AI, because AI can get things wrong. But with regard to video, it's very immersive. It pulls people in. It makes people feel like they're actually there. And if you're like a luxury hotel, a city hotel, a luxury resort, some kind of faraway place in the Mediterranean, Indian Ocean, Caribbean, places like that, or maybe mainland coast of America or whatever it is, that can be great, because people can get a sense and a flavor of your brand and the facilities, and they can get a much better picture of things than they can from like looking at a brochure or looking at some static images you designed through various bits of software. Looks like this video, if I just put like a little post up, it wouldn't get the same engagement as making a video. And that's what I got into YouTube, because I think it's a very powerful medium to let people see what you're about, and also from a brand marketing point of view, regardless of the sector, whether it's hotels or you could be solicitors, you could be printers, you could be like a cafe, you could be a sports provider, anything like that. You could be like a food vendor, food manufacturer, literally any kind of sector, or in the energy sector. It just helps people to see what your offering is about, and what things are like behind the scenes, and what the staff are like, and what the atmosphere is like, and that's why it's so powerful. So I've got a few tips for you if you're like a hotel. Now, you don't have to be, this is quite important, you don't have to be like the Hilton or the Hyatt or some other major international brand of hotels to kind of benefit from this and to get traction. You could be an independent hotel. Many years ago I used to work for a company called Globres in Switzerland, and that was we used to target the independent hotel market all around the world in different countries. And I was looking after the UK, and I had a colleague join me as well after like six months or a year in the job, and he was there for a long time as well, more than 10 years. So that was like a kind of spin-off, if you like, from Synexis, which is like Sabre Hospitality Solutions. And we used to promote like the GDS systems and the booking engines and the channel managers, and which allows hotel owners to like close out rooms and amend rates and stuff like that, all from one dashboard. But GDS systems allow travel. It's changed a bit. There's some of them have merged, so I think there's 3 big players rather than 4 now, as of now, 2025. But that allows travel agents around the world to tap into these, or pull up rates in a certain city for their corporate clients, and it allows it. Do you see what I mean? So these systems, that's what are called global distribution systems. They allow travel agents in all countries around the world to tap into like an inventory of live, up-to-date prices, and they can book it. And because it's all computerized, somebody in Paraguay or Dubai or mainland China can go to a physical travel agent. They can book the stuff, and the ticketing will be done, and the payment will be taken, and it'll all be executed there. And then they do also have these, like, and this is a thing you'll be familiar with, what's called the OTAs, online travel agents. A good example of that is like Booking.com. There's loads of others, by the way, and these are kind of a bit like software as a service, I suppose. People are kind of logging on. I use Booking.com all the time just to see what's available in a certain city or a certain country, and they can look at the conditions, book it and stuff. So those are called online travel agents, OTAs. But just getting back to this, I've got some sort of, quick tips for you, if you like, to how you can benefit from this. If you could be like an independent hotel, you could be like a small independent chain, you could be a private owner who owns a number of apartments in a particular town or a couple of towns, maybe across the UK, or you might have 3 or 4 different AirbnBs you've got dotted across the UK or in different countries. And I think you can still benefit from this, by getting the right people in, and it's something that I do myself. That's not exclusive why I'm making the video, but it is something I do myself. Getting the right people in, they can actually film a video, edit the video, host it on their platform with the audio rights, and you can save a lot of time and a lot of cost by doing it that way. If you do it yourself, you might not have the subscribers on your channel. You've got to spend money getting the audio rights, you've got to spend money getting a camera, a gimbal, and all the different bits and pieces in the editing software, and you've got to be good at the editing. And you're going to lose easily, if you've never done it before, easily at 3-4 days, maybe more. So it pays to get somebody to do it for you. So look, virtual tours is like a great way to do it. I'm going to be reading off screen a little bit now. So create immersive videos of rooms, amenities, and the overall property to give potential guests an authentic look. I'm sure you've seen other, travel vloggers doing stuff. Travel vlogging is not quite the same thing, because travel vloggers just tend to film a destination, and maybe they do a quick kind of quick route of the hotel room with whatever iPhone or video camera they've got, but maybe they're not kind of filming the hotel or the property in like a professional way. They're just doing it in a very personal context. So local guides produce videos highlighting nearby attractions, restaurants and activities to show guests what they can do in the area. Now, a good way to do this is to tie it in with like an overall video. Maybe if you do it yourself, or if you get somebody else to do it, they can map out a kind of design for the video, a time frame for the video, and what sections are going to be in it, and what should be in the video, rather than just like a quick point and shoot type video. So behind the scenes, show glimpses of daily operations. So it could be things like, head chef in the kitchen, getting ready the a la carte menu, house cleaning, so room preparations, event planning, to build, it just helps to build authenticity and build trust and show, the people you're trying to reach, or who may be visiting that area in the not too distant future, what your brand, hotel brand, is like, and what you can offer them. And like I said, video is so powerful. It's much more effective than something like a static post that you've made in Photoshop, because people will, if it's a good video, people will sit through it and they'll listen to it and they'll remember it. So it's really worth doing. So guest experiences, use testimonials. So on video we're talking about, not like written testimonials, and user generated content to build social proof and trust. So if you can get people on camera, let's get back to the hotel thing, maybe some current guests, and ask them, obviously you'd have to approach them first, maybe say, if you'd be happy to participate in this kind of quick video review, we'll, give you a free coffee and a free dinner, or whatever it might be, okay? And then, you can frame certain questions or put certain questions to them, like, you know, how smoothly have you found the check-in process and the politeness of the staff, and, you know, did you find that, you know, when you came down to the dining room, the staff were polite and attentive and courteous and things like that? You know, did the porter lift your baggage up to the room? You know, was everything fine? And you know, when people leave like a positive review like that, especially on video, because that's what this is about. This video is about video tours for hotels and stuff. It's really powerful, especially for people who are, you know, thinking about visiting on holiday or never going to be in a certain area, and, you know, maybe they've got an upcoming business trip. You know, it just helps to get them over the line and turn those lookers into bookers. So optimize using keyword research. You know, there's different ways to do that. There's lots of keyword software. Some of it's free, which will allow you to pull off the hashtags and the keywords, the SEO tags, and you can just kind of bundle those into the video description. What I normally do is I put the you know, well, there's three things I do. I find the keywords and I put the keywords kind of, so I write the video description, and then I don't exactly stuff the video description with keywords, but I try and integrate some of the keywords into the video description. And then I have like the hashtags, which I put, you know, at the bottom of the video description. And then lastly, I have like the SEO tags, which I put in the SEO box on YouTube. Okay, so that helps to give the video you know, extra visibility, but you do need to research the, you know, the keywords and the hashtags to make sure that you're not just stuffing any kind of, you know, first thing that's suggested in there. But there's a lot of sites out there, and they don't all throw up the best suggestions. So, you know, there's different ways to do it. You know, Google Keyword Planner. You know, there's a lot of free sites which will you know, you can put like a sentence in or a topic in, and it will suggest keywords, but you do need to spend a bit of time on that to make sure you got it right. And it's something that I can help you with, rather than you wasting a lot of time doing it. So create compelling thumbnails. That's another thing. Like the cover, think of a book cover. The cover is what's going to make people pick up the book. Now, in the case of like a video for your hotel, for your Airbnb, for your luxury resort, the actual thumbnail's got to be spot on, okay? Because that's what's going to encourage people to click on the video. You know, and if a video is brilliant and the thumbnail's not right, then it's counterproductive because people aren't going to click on it. So the thumbnail needs to be absolutely 100%, and it's worth spending time getting that right rather than just trying to rush it and get it out. So next stage, promote and distribute the videos. So obviously social media is you know, a good way to do that. You know, post your videos on all the platforms, you know, share, you know, people on all these platforms, including YouTube, there's got share buttons, so, you know, people can share it and reshare it and so on. When you publish a video, make sure you set it to embed in the settings, so that, you know, if you've got like a website for your hotel, which you probably have, it will allow you to embed the video onto your website with minimum fuss, minimum hassle, and that will help your marketing as well. You can use it in email marketing. You know, you can provide like a link in the email marketing you know, content that you send out. You just put a link to the video, and then people can watch it and click on it, so that can tie in with your email marketing strategy. And yeah, I mean, look, there's lots of things you can do. Obviously, you need to measure the results and, you know, learn and adapt. So if you find that, you know, sometimes we call it A/B testing. And if you find that something hasn't quite delivered the results that you want, you can always tweak it and build on it, you know, in the next video. But it's about consistency, because, you know, a lot of people maybe think that, I'm not saying we do, but perhaps some people do, you know, think if you just do one video, everything's going to be great. But you need to be built, it's, you know, whether it's like email marketing or, you know, standard graphics, you know, for static content, you know, or, you know, events, pop-up events or anything like that. It's about consistency. So, you know, the more videos you make about your hotel with a slightly different angle, slightly different take, slightly different, you know, context and all the rest of it, that will help you to build trust and authenticity with the audience that you're trying to reach. Okay, so there's lots of things you can do there with regard to video. I mean, just before I go, just, the way hotels are kind of marketing now, obviously they use GDS, global distribution systems. They're quite well known amongst travel agents around the world, and the online travel agents called it OTAs, booking.com, and etc. But there's other things you can do as well, like data-driven guest because AI, right? That's a big thing. So AI personalization is a big thing now, and there's different bits of software you can get where you can copy and paste. Obviously you need to register, set it all up and everything, but once it's all configured and set up, you can basically copy and paste a bit of code into the back end of your website, and that will help you to get AI personalization set up. So when a customer visits your hotel website, that software will pick up on certain actions, certain links and pages they've clicked on, and capture some details hopefully and stuff. But also things like AI, read out what it says. AI creates detailed guest profiles by analysing booking history, spending behaviour and feedback to understand preferences and anticipate needs. So, it learns from the behaviour and spending behaviour and, how many bookings they make, and, it captures things like their name and the times and the dates they visit and all that kind of stuff. You can use personalized booking and offers. AI analyzes data to recommend specific tools and suggest relevant add-ons during the booking process, which can increase revenue. So like add-ons, ancillary revenue. Dynamic and personalized pricing. AI adjusts room rates in real time based on factors like demand, seasonality, and competitive pricing, offering personalized rates and promotions to different guests. So we see that in the airline industry a lot. They have like this kind of dynamic, personalized pricing, so that if a particular website sees that you've visited the site a number of times and you're in a certain area and you booked before, and it will look at the competition and the time of year and the time that you're on the website, and it will kind of serve real-time prices, but you could go back 20 minutes later and the price will be different, so everything from like in-stay experience, so recommendations. AI provides hyper-personalized recommendations for dining activities and room settings. These are some of the things you could introduce. So smart rooms. Guests can control features like the temperature and lighting through AI-powered voice commands or apps. Again, that's something you could look to introduce. Proactive service. Sentimental analysis of guest feedback helps hotels quickly address issues and refine offerings. Enhanced loyalty and retention. AI-powered loyalty programs can dynamically adjust rewards based on individual guest preferences, making incentives more relevant and effective. And smarter sales and things like that. So AI can analyze group planner profiles to recommend tailored responses, and guide sales conversations with data-driven insights. So I've given you quite a lot to think about there. It's quite a big area, and maybe I kind of tried to pack a little bit too much into that video, but there are some definite things which kind of hotels are doing now with regard to try and grow their offering. So obviously the video marketing thing is massive. There's a lot of vloggers who are trying to kind of get in on that act, if I can phrase it like that. Some of them specialize in like shorts and reels, and some of them specialize in kind of long form content like myself. I do think that especially if you're like an upscale hotel or a kind of 3-star plus city hotel or luxury resort or anything like that, I do feel that long form content will help you a bit more. Yes, short form content like reels and shorts is very popular, but because it's so short, hence the name shorts, the people who watch it may not be able to get all the information they want from it, because these things are typically like 1 to 2 minutes long, sometimes less than that. long form content. If you've got a video like 15, 25 minutes long with all the right transitions and special effects and all the key core things you want to get included in that video, and it's done professionally, then that will help you, I believe, convert more bookings and get more sales over the line. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great week. Another week and we're in December, so I don't know where the year's going. I really don't. So look, let's wrap up there. Again, thanks for watching, listening, and I'll hope to see you on the next video in next week or the week after. So take care, and I'll see you soon.